Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boys, the 1, 2, 3 count wrestling pod, here to talk to you about everything that's been going on in professional wrestling. First and foremost, we want to say prayers out to Chris and his family. A loved one has been lost this week. We also have a special guest tonight. Our first special guest, actually. This is Terrence. Hello, Terrence.
Hey, Terrence.
So we're here to talk about just so much stuff has happened. I guess we should start off with, I want to start off with last week. I went out to AEW Dynamite, got to see ROH. It was a lot of fun. I got to take Chris and Jamie with me. They were our winners of our AEW Ticket giveaway. Be on the lookout because we have other events coming up. I might get some tickets to WWE Raw. Might do something there, and I also want to go to local wrestling promotions and get some tickets so people can actually see local indie wrestling for its finest.
Yeah.
Let's go. But it was a fun night. We got to see Swerve, Samoa Joe, and might as well just lead into what happened this weekend. We had AEW Dynasty from St. Louis. And from start to beginning, that show was amazing.
Oh, I believe it. I had absolutely missed it. I saw on Twitter or TikTok or whatever, whichever ones, the social media platforms that you can follow us on. Even on YouTube, where you can follow, you can subscribe, you can like, you can share, and leave a comment about your wrestling experiences, if you have any, or what you would like to experience. You put that down there. But
you're telling Terrence that you hate him. Okay, don't hate this cute baby.
Yeah, you don't send that like you're saying that you hate the baby or the dog. Ace, he's over here right now, laying down. You'll see him a little bit later. Okay, that's what's causing it. Yeah, but I want to get into it a little bit later. But I do want to just throw this to you that the video that I saw, it was about a guy. He was like, I don't know if y'all noticed this, but there's a chance that we could, and this was before Dynasty, but there's a chance that we can be crowning our first black AEW champion. But I haven't really been feeling it. Like the build-ups weren't all that great. Everything wasn't all that great, and they're not hype about it. Is AEW, are we dealing with fatigue with AEW or wrestling in general? We'll throw that question after we talk about Dynasty, but I just want you to have that there so we can think about it. But yeah, I've seen highlights and it looks real good.
Basically, the highlights from Dynasty was Okada versus Pac, amazing, first start to the match. We had Willow defeating Julia Hart. So happy for her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We had Bryan Danielson versus Ospreay. Match of the year.
Okay, hold on. Gotta throw that in there. Yeah. Go ahead. You can continue.
To the point where Ospreay said he's no longer doing the Tiger Driver because of potentially Danielson being hurt, which everybody knows that's kayfabe. We had to return Jack Perry, and we now have our first black AEW heavyweight champion. And it was a long weekend for me because I had my friend from LA came here. So we hung out Friday and Saturday. I was like, all right, I'm not even going to watch Dynasty, but I decided to watch it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, all right, I'm going to go to sleep. I got to go to sleep because I have to work at 6 a.m. Then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, it was Ospreay and Danielson. I was like, dang, I got to sleep. It was out of the match. Like, dang, I got to sleep. It was Samoa and Swerve. And from beginning to end, an amazing show. The biggest takeaways was Jack Perry returning and Swerve winning in my eyes.
Yeah. No, those were two big deals. And I just want to throw we do have to have a conversation about WrestleMania, because right now I'm looking at match of the year's contenders. So far Ospreay is on here twice. Ospreay versus Takeshita, that we said that was a match of the year contender, and then Ospreay versus Danielson. So yeah.
I mean, we could put Roman versus Cody as a match of the year.
Is it because of the what came from it, or are we just including the match? Because it was,
I think everything around it, like the story that built up. Because we always do like Ospreay and Takeshita, Ospreay and Danielson, like those are great matches. But Cody and Roman was a really good story that led to a really good match.
okay.
So those should be some of the prerequisites, if not more.
Yeah. They are definitely something. Match of the year, I kind of want to put it there because of everything. I mean, they put on what? It was 20 minutes, 30 minutes of just them wrestling. And then they got into all the craziness, which was amazing, by the way. Even with the letdown of not being Stone Cold, but the Undertaker, it was amazing, and everything that ended after that was cool. And The Rock, the Rock being the final boss is ridiculous. But I'll throw that in there. I'll throw it in there.
But then we had Dynamite last night, and we had I think it's supposed to be Ospreay versus Roderick Strong for the international title. We're about to get Takeshita versus Moxley.
Yeah.
And then the big thing that happened was Tony Khan got TK Driver. Because they changed the name. It's no longer the Meltzer Driver. TK Driver. He took first a punch from Jack Perry. And then the Young Bucks come out. They stood up for the EVP trigger. Okada was like, hey, what are you doing? Stop. And then they gave him the TK Driver.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Everybody's laughing about the way that Tony took the driver. It was like, he is not a performer. He's never trained. So
yeah,
he took it better than Vince McMahon takes the Stone Cold Stunner.
Definitely. Way better.
Mm-hmm.
And then Shahid Khan came out. Yeah, he thought he looked like he thought it was serious.
Yeah. And everybody's saying that if Tony Khan doesn't come out with a neck brace on for tonight's draft, it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, he better. Yeah, because the draft is tonight. Go Lions.
And it's in Detroit, so go I forgot how to do S in sign language.
Yeah. That's good. First thought that I had, hold on 1 second, Ace. First thought that I had was that Tony Khan is now doing this because Vince can't do it anymore. Now, but this was something that I thought should have been done when it was who was it? I said this. Tony Khan getting involved. And it'd be like the corporate versus the elite or some stuff like that, which is pretty much happening right now. But my question to you is him being in the ring, him taking a bump, does that kind of change a perspective that you have of him?
You know, like even he's done an interview before, and he talked about he never wanted to be like a real on screen performer,
Mm-hmm.
and that he would only do something if it kept the plot going or it made sense. In this instance, it does make sense.
Yeah.
Like, granted, I still don't think him airing the footage from All In was the best, but now you get Jack Perry coming back. Um, and then you have what's going on between him and Jack Perry that led into the angle that they did. I don't think that they should do it all the time, but for like this one time, perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Yeah. I kind of agree. I do think that this needs to fill itself out a little bit more, meaning that we probably do have to see a little bit of more Tony Khan, even if he's not wrestling. He can play manager. His energy would actually kind of work as a manager, especially if they want to trade, if they want to change from heel to face. Even though I know, because right now, uh, Jack Perry, even though he's kind of heelish, the crowd is behind him. And so if they want to put him as more of a face and the Young Bucks being the people, and those are the ones that really got to change. If he becomes a manager for all of his worst wrestlers, I don't, when I say worst, I mean bad guys, badass. Like I'm tired of this. Y'all treated me like y'all treated me like I'm a little punk or whatever. Y'all thought that what that guy did made me soft, but no, I'm here and I'm taking this back. Y'all, in that regard, and he actually give Lance Archer some wins in this. uh, that would more of make it more complete. Because if they just do this and it's just after that, then I'm gonna be kind of upset.
And we're back. Sorry, I had to get rid of the baby. He was falling asleep, and I needed somebody awake who could actually contribute. But we were talking about TK and getting involved. I still don't think that he should really be involved like that as an on-screen persona. For what he's doing, I think it's better to keep it that way because we've had way too many authority type figures, and if he jumps into that, he'll just be another authority figure.
I mean,
when we already are saying that he needs to get a general manager, do other things to help with like contributing, grading AEW to a higher place, and being involved on camera. Just
okay. I think that the reason why I think that it should be that because he needs a change of image. People already think he's soft. Everybody thinks that he's a mark. Nobody respect him. The best way to get your employees to respect you is to be in the trenches because you need to really understand what it is that they go through and what it is that they do. Him doing it in that regards would help in a sense, but you think about an authorities figure. This would probably be how many stories have we had when it was authority figures against the authority figures? Not like Eric Bischoff versus NWO or Eric Bischoff versus Vince McMahon type stuff, but a real
in Impact we had Dixie Carter, versus Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff. We've had the McMahons fight each other. It's happened plenty of times, but
Yeah.
just I feel like if they do that in AEW, people are going to be like, "Oh, see, they're trying to do what WWE does." Blah 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 blah, and that's the furthest thing that they need to do. Is yeah, if you want to improve the product, by all means. But oh man, I did something that I came back. But don't make him a focal prominent thing on TV.
Yeah.
And don't, whenever the ratings are, if they believe the ratings are down, don't go like, oh, ratings are down. Let's go beat up Tony Khan. Because that's just not going to do anything.
It's not going to save it. Not unless the story was really good. But yeah, but I think that him saying that he don't really want to be the focal point is BS, because nigga been doing announcements about announcements on TV. He wants to be on the TV.
That's different, because he's not physically getting into the ring and doing moves and having moves put on him. He is the owner, so of course, hey, we have a great announcement. This is happening. So that's more understandable than, all right. That's more understandable than actual physical getting into the ring. That's just my thought.
Yeah. I mean, I can see a way where it will work. I don't disagree with you. I don't think that he should have ever really been in the ring. I'm happy that it happened at this point because of what's going on with Jack Perry, but I feel that there in any situation, it can't just, in most situations, I won't say any, but in most situations, it can't just be just that. So
like, he can obviously be like, I'm going to get a group together and they're going to fight on my behalf to take you guys on because you guys physically.
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying. And his screen time would be 99% him doing management stuff. Him being on the screen as an owner, talking about him not being respected would be a little unhinged, but it would be entertaining.
Yeah.
I swear to you, his personality is so off-putting that he could be a heel manager. And I don't mean off-putting as he's just horrible. The excitement that he has is like a kid being excited about stuff, and it gets to be a little obnoxious for people watching, but that will work for him. So yeah, him being the manager 99% of the time, he's doing nothing, but that 1% would be at the very end where he gets his comeuppance. But
sorry, I just turned on the NFL draft.
Hold on one second.
And I see a sea of blue, baby. Let's go. Detroit showing out. Detroit Lions. We doing big things next year.
Oh, no,
I know this is.
They put out the good dishes this year.
Yeah. But we also have a new NXT heavyweight champion.
Oh yeah.
Senor Trick Williams. Whoa, that trick. Look, that trick. He beat Ilya Dragunov. I don't know why. Ilya Dragunov just seems like a really cool guy.
Oh no, he does seem like a really cool guy, and this probably is him moving up.
Yes, 100%. I saw certain people complain about the finish of their match because it was just like Daniel said at Osprey. They're like, why would they do that? Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, there's tricks in them was just the actual finish. What Danielson and them had more to go. I honestly didn't mind the finish because Tricks. Oh, that scared me so badly. My keys fell out my pocket. Trick's finisher is the knee, and one of Ilya Dragunov's is that torpedo headbutt. So it made sense on
Yeah.
why that was the finish. But like we said, something coming up this Friday, something coming up this Monday, and I actually have the rules. So it starts on SmackDown. There will be 4 rounds, 16 total picks. On Raw, there will be 6 rounds, 24 total picks. Champions on each brands are protected, so there is no Cody going to Raw,
Mm-hmm.
Damien going to SmackDown. The women tag team championships are eligible. SmackDown will pick first on Friday, and Raw will pick first on Monday. And then the rosters will be locked on Monday, May 6th. So, how many days is that? I feel like it's just a week.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty much a week. Well, 2 weeks.
Yeah. So 2 weeks, it would be locked in. I did ask if we would play a little game.
Mm-hmm.
Pick one person from Monday Night Raw who we think is going to go to SmackDown, one person from SmackDown that's going to go to Raw, somebody from NXT that's going to get called up, and one person from the WWE roster that will be going back down to NXT. So my picks, because I've had so many different thoughts on this. From SmackDown,
Mm-hmm.
I would pick uh, Power and Grace, aka the Big Three, Naomi, Jade, and Bianca. Actually, well, I guess keep Naomi on SmackDown just because her husband's there. I don't like to separate couples. Neither does the WWE. Good on them. But send Jade and Bianca over to Raw. From Raw, who did I say I was send over? Man, now I find it. Oh, here it is. From Raw, I would send over Giovanni Vinci and send him to SmackDown, especially after what happened this week with him being kicked out of Imperium. Obviously, Dragunov has to come up, and then I would send Odyssey Jones back down to NXT.
Okay.
And I don't know if you've seen Odyssey Jones, but he was on NXT. He was teaming up with Malik Blade and them. Then all of a sudden, last draft, they brought him up, but they never used him.
Okay.
So I'll definitely be like, bring him back down, let him join Obi or Oba, and let them be a force down at NXT until they're both ready to be called up.
Okay. All right. So, go ahead. Continue.
I also thought that they could take Randy Orton and send him to Raw and take Bronson Reed and send him to SmackDown. But yeah,
Okay.
those are my picks.
All right. So, who did you say you was gonna send over to Raw?
Jade and Bianca.
Okay. And Jimmy's on SmackDown, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I agree with you. The big three should go to Raw. I also think that Jimmy should go to Raw. I would probably put who would I take down to? I think 2 people are coming up from NXT. I think Carmelo is probably gonna come up, and I think Ilya
Mhm.
Dragunov goes. All right. I think oh, that would be interesting because right now I'm looking at the roster because
Mhm.
I really have to look at the roster. You say Giovanni Vinci. I think CM Punk should go to SmackDown. I really do think CM Punk should go to SmackDown. Uh, because right now they got him on the Raw roster.
Yeah.
So if you got for this year, I think that Roman. Oh no, that's yeah, yeah, that works. I think that the bloodline versus bloodline thing ain't really is going to be a slow burn because part of that is the fact that Jimmy and Jay is going to have to get back together for that,
Mhm.
right? So if you put Jimmy on Raw, that means that Roman's probably not going to be seen for a moment, and you
Yeah,
get
he's gone for a moment.
and then you get the bloodline where it's at right now, right?
Mhm. Well, I was told by Chris that during the when he went to SmackDown 2 weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
before after Mania, that the dark match was Jay Uso versus Solo, and this was after him and Tomatonga had taken out Jimmy Uso.
Mm. Ooh.
So I could definitely see them basically doing like they did with Jay and Jimmy. Like they're both on separate shows, and all of a sudden Jimmy comes back and hits him, and with Solo doing a new bloodline thing with Tamatanga, supposedly Jacob Fatu, have them on SmackDown. Yes, move Jimmy. Have them just kind of run wild on SmackDown till eventually Jimmy and Jerry are like, hey, we got to do something because they think that they're the head of the family when they're not, which then brings in Roman Reigns, which then brings in Bloodline versus Bloodline. And
Right.
what Chris had said was that The Rock was the financial backer of the
The
new
bloodline.
Bloodline.
I can see
Yeah.
that, and in that case, I would definitely also put Roman in Raw. Just think about him being drafted and not being around,
Mm-hmm.
and him saying that he would retire. That would be called to question the entire time. And then as the bloodline feuds start coming, when Roman comes back, it's it can be very very is he backing what the new bloodline is doing? Is
Mm-hmm.
do we want to be with Jimmy and Jay and because you know those were the three in the beginning? Like, do we want to come back to that? Is this just the work? And all to come find out that The Rock is the financial backer of the new bloodline, and and that could be that could be a Survivor Series thing.
Yeah.
Finding out that The Rock is the financial backer will be a Survivor Series thing, and that can lead all the way up until WrestleMania, and it's Roman versus Rock. Yeah, so I would bring the old bloodline together on Raw, have them
Mm-hmm.
running that. Yeah, because right now Roman doesn't need to be back, and if Jimmy and Jay can work their story out without Roman being back, maybe that's a SummerSlam thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it could work. Oh, them yeah. So I don't know who I would put on, who I would throw down. I would probably take Tozawa, put him on NXT because that will be fun. That'll be a fun thing. Him on NXT. Uh, and I don't know who I would send to. I only person I could think of sending to SmackDown. would be CM Punk, but that's really to build up Punk and Cody in the future.
But they still have to do Drew and CM Punk, which are probably, I don't know.
Mhm.
They're either going to do, if CM Punk is healthy, I would rather see CM Punk versus Drew at Clash at the Castle. But if he's not, definitely Sheamus versus Drew. Even though they might do that at Backlash.
Even though Drew still ain't signed his contract yet.
Nope.
That could throw in a monkey wrench if he does decide to not to, and he just started hanging around Jinder Mahal. That'll be an interesting summer. Because that would throw everything in. Yeah, but that's who I would think. And I would definitely leave the announcers where they are.
Yes, they've already done enough.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew's crying. He just woke up.
Mm.
Yeah, no, but that's definitely like the biggest outcome. But there again, 40. I'm not going to say 40 people will be picked because you know how sometimes what they do. Everybody's eligible, so people who are on Raw are going to be picked to stay on the Raw.
Yeah,
people who are on SmackDown are still going to be picked to stay on SmackDown. So they say that 40 people are going to get picked, but how many people are actually switching? Which they also said that they're going to put a big thing on NXT. So I think Dragunov, Carmelo Hayes, the family. I say they should bring up Chasey Jane. That's my girl. And Roxanne Perez. I'm sorry. It's not me.
Yeah. You know who else I would send down to NXT? Well, I won't say send down because I would send to NXT. It's fucking Andrade. I would send him there. It would be fun.
And then, I mean, he would still be able to be around his wife, who she's almost healed up. A couple people on our a couple people on our Twitter have said this. Jeremiah Clark 04 stated he would send Gunther to SmackDown, Logan Paul to Raw, and Dragunov to SmackDown. Granted, Logan Paul can't move because he's a champion, but
yeah,
going to SmackDown again, not that bad of a thing. Yeah. Also, he is the first person to put his name in the hat to be the king of the ring. Give us King Gunther.
I don't know. That would be good. I got to see who else is in there.
Anthony Mack Jr. stated he would send Jimmy Uso to Raw, Awesome Truth to SmackDown, which they're champion, so we know that won't happen. And then he would send Alpha Academy minus Chad Gable to NXT, call up Carmelo Hayes. Anthony put in a few. He send Legado del Fantasma to Raw, Cedric Alexander, send him to NXT.
That would be a good one.
And bring up Gigi Dolan up to the main roster because he said Ariana Grace will be devastated, jealous, and brokenhearted. And then we have Kevin Owens going to Raw, Ludwig Kaiser going to SmackDown, Giovanni Da Vinci going to NXT, and then call up Chasey Jane.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm sorry, bad at all.
Not bad at all. Bronson Reed to SmackDown too. I would like to see him on the blue brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'd love to see him there. Okay.
But that was what we've gotten so far. Oh, and Solo Roca has the best finisher in NXT. I don't care what anybody says.
Okay.
Point blank period.
I'm not arguing that. I'm not arguing that.
But what was the question that you asked me earlier? That could be like our last thing for the night.
Okay. Yeah. So the guy was talking about he wasn't feeling up to this dynasty. He don't know if it was the way that it was promoted, how the lead up and all that, but he wasn't really feeling it. He wasn't really excited about it. Are we dealing with fatigue? Now, I'm going to say a couple of things. One, anytime the build up for an AEW pay-per-view was a little lackluster, you can guarantee that they're going to have some of the best matches of the year. It's one of the best shows that is probably going to happen. Because regardless of whatever we think about AEW, the Dynamite and the collisions and stuff, their pay-per-views are 99% fantastic. Right. Second thing, there has been, I think Forbes put it out, the top combat sports. It is UFC 1, or is it WWE 1? I think it's WWE 1. No, it's UFC 1. WWE is 2. AEW is 3 as far as combat sports. And you got all these MMA type shows. You got boxing still in the game, and you still have NXT, Impact, and all of these things. They are still proving to be the big dogs in it when it comes to wrestling. They're still number 2. There is no question that they're number 2. But for them to be up high when it comes to combat sports, bringing in billions, that says a lot. Now, do you feel that there is a fatigue with AEW? I'm gonna change the question a little bit. Do you feel that there's a fatigue with AEW, or do you think that there's something else? I'm not even gonna just lead you. I'm just gonna say there's something else.
I don't think it's just the AEW like thing. I think it's a wrestling thing, or at least I feel that because 6 days out of the week there's wrestling going on. It's Raw, SmackDown, ROH, Dynamite, Collision, Impact. Not to mention if you watch anything like outside of America, there's just so much going on. So fatigue in wrestling is just real. Hell, like I said, I haven't been watching wrestling all week because I'm just exhausted. I want to catch up on my shows. Caught up on Fallout, caught up on Shogun, about to catch up on some anime. But when it comes to AEW, I think it's just hard to say because people like to say that, oh, AEW isn't selling tickets like that. I can tell you for a fact, because I was there last week, that here in Indiana, it was packed. It could have been because Dynamite was that weekend. It could have just been because everybody really wanted to see Dynamite. They had Mercedes Moné coming. They had Samoa Joe. They had Swerve. And I can see why people would have fatigue from AEW, but for the most part, I would say there's not really AEW fatigue. The word. but
Okay. Hold on 1 second.
Yep. And by the way, again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Come on, let us know how you feel.
Sorry, stuff is happening in my house.
Oh, no worries. I'm telling everybody to like, subscribe. And also tell us who you believe will be drafted tomorrow on SmackDown. We'll be putting out the tweet later on tonight to see what's in everybody's mind. And yeah. But going back to what you're saying, how do you feel about the fatigue?
Now, from a person that has really dealt with the fatigue of wrestling, because I've been out of it and then I just jumped right into it, I'll say that we've had a lot of wrestling for a minute. Even before AEW, you still had the Ring of Honor, you still had Impact, then you have all of these all the wrestling online, whether it's Imagine Wrestling, GCW, MLW, all of those. So it's been around and a lot of people just go through it. So I think that when it comes to AEW, I think that they have yet to find their footing. And what I mean by that is that if you are going there looking for WWE type wrestling, sometimes or entertainment, sometimes there's WWE light entertainment. And that can be frustrating because as of late, especially, the stories haven't been all that great. Very few stories have really been great. But if you go there just for wrestling, it is quite literally just that. And that, I know what it is. I know exactly what it is. And I'm trying not to cuss. I don't know how much I cussed already, but what it is that it's really the same old, same old. We have Chris Jericho with Hook now.
Succubus.
Goodness, no, not being a succubus. You have the Elite all the way around. It's been great. Not seeing Kenny Omega for a minute because now we get to miss him. Moxley took a 2-week vacation and he's right back. Matter of fact, I think when he was on vacation, he won the title. So it's not, and it's the same all the way around. Even people are turning on the Acclaimed, and everybody loves the Acclaimed. And I don't mean turning on them. It's just that people are getting tired of seeing the same routine.
And, they lost their titles too, by the way.
Yeah. But they're tired of seeing the same routine. The same stories, the same group of people being protected. They know CJ, Megatron, let's go. Sorry, I'm looking at the draft. But it's the same people, the same protected people, the same story coming around. And it gets boring. No matter how great the matches get, it gets boring.
Every Sanders.
The GOAT. And I think that is the thing that people are getting tired of.
He walked right past Eminem.
Seeing Swerve and Samoa Joe as a main event, it was a great welcoming. But besides that, it's been pretty much the same thing around again and again and again. Which is we get bored with it until it happens, and then we see the matches and it's like, okay, those were amazing matches still. But when you're on Dynamite and you still get these matches, it's like, I want to see something new. I want to see a new star rise. Shout out to Willow because she rose. But then you turn around and Young Bucks had their spots going on. Granted, this time Jack Perry is around and that gave them a reason, but it's
Could it also be that we have like it? AEW just has so many former WWE guys that it's like, all right, what are you really trying to do? Are you trying to make a new product, or are you just trying to get people who who wanted to leave WWE and try something new and do something new, get out of that formulaic thing?
Okay. So, yes. I think that for them it's been a gift and a curse because a lot of people feel that way. It's just WWE stars that just moved to AEW. But I also see that a star like Swerve who wasn't getting his shine that got let go. You have not Jade Cargill, but I was about to say her old name. Ember. You know who I'm talking about.
Oh,
Athena. Yeah, Ember Moon. Yeah, I'm saying her old name. You got Athena, who, when she got called up, didn't have the greatest of runs. You have Claudio, who was a star, but that's because of his personality. He wasn't seen as a star in WWE. You have a whole bunch of people that, if they is a lot of them are NXT great, not WWE great. But here they become AEW great, which is a step up from NXT. Just because of the brand quality, brand recognition, brand name, and all of that. But
oh snaps! The Bears got the #1 pick.
Yeah, that was trash.
No, I thought they traded for the #1 pick. Sorry, guys. Slight tangent. The NFL draft is on.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to go soon, just because.
Yeah, because we got to see this. But yeah, it's like it's boring. It's boring because a lot of times we know the outcome, we know the story, we know how everything is going to go. It doesn't feel fresh. But as far as for that being a drawback, the good thing that is keeping people around is their quality of wrestling. And if they got some people that knew how to take that to the next level story-wise, event-wise, they would be so much better. And I think Triple H running WWE shook them. Because in all actuality, with the exception of them being what is the word that I'm looking for? Except for them with the protections and all the stuff that they've been doing, they've been kind of on their mission statement.
Yeah.
The wrestlers have control. The wrestlers are having fun for the most part. Their locker room is getting better. I think that them staying the course after Vince left kind of hurt them, and they need something new because now it's boring, especially because we dealt with Vince and his boringness for 15 years, 10 years of bad wrestling. But that's what I think it is. I think that the change needs to happen with them going back to an overall story and how are we going to get there. And it can't make sense. I say this a lot. Now that Swerve has the belt, I don't think he needs to lose the belt. But when he does, have it on a great wrestler, but have it on a wrestler that you feel like should lose or could lose.
I think everybody's saying that at All In, and That one country, England,
Mm-hmm.
is going to be Swerve versus Ospreay. And I am here for it.
Yeah, but what I was saying is that if that's going to be the story, then we know Swerve ain't losing the belt. So when he having matches on,
Do we? Really?
if that's going to be the story, yes. People want to see Swerve versus Ospreay. But even with that, let's say we do think that he can lose. Do you think it's going to happen on Dynamite?
No.
But I think that it should happen on Dynamite. Belt should be lost on Dynamite. Because that was one of the biggest things. We felt like anybody could lose. Anybody could lose a belt. You want to do these title contender matches? Have Swerve lose a couple. Just so it can feel fresh.
Mm-hmm.
Lose your TNT title on TV more. Well, not more because y'all just stopped it from being a hot potato belt. But TBS, they could do it. Tag teams, you can definitely lose tag teams on TV. Let it happen.
Yeah, but not the world title? No. All the other titles? Yeah. Of course. Those can't be.
No, they got it. I feel like it really has to be that. They gotta get it to where this feels like you at an event where anything could happen. That's the magic of it. But now there ain't no magic no more. Too many people are protected. The belts are the world title is too protected. The
But you want the world title to be protected. You don't want to start hot potatoing your title.
Oh no, you don't.
Like every once in a while, yes.
Yeah, but that's
not even once a year. Once every 2 years. Oh snaps! But it also make it something like Money in the Bank, where the person had earned it'd have to be something like that. That's the only way I could see that them doing that.
Oh no,
especially with the people they put the titles on.
I can see them doing
Why did you take the full 8 minutes if you already knew?
Yeah, there was no question. Not unless they done went stupid. Yeah, there you go. But you doing, they can lose a belt on TV once every 2 years. Or if they lose the belt, it's for an overall story. Like, I really can't think of it right now because everybody is just too convoluted. I won't say convoluted. Right now, I can't see it because you built Swerve up. Swerve has to look like a star. You got Will Ospreay coming. That match has to happen. But you got to build around them. Like I said, if they lose a first contender, if there was a title contender match, have your champion lose every once in a while.
Yeah, those, of course. There need to be some stakes when it comes to the stupid things because the eliminator matches are just nothing.
Here's another thing. You could literally, okay, let's say at All In, he doesn't lose to Ospreay. He holds it. But he loses to somebody like Lance Archer on a Dynamite. And then I'm just throwing Lance Archer out there because names are escaping me right now. But it could be anybody. It could be Claudio. Claudio loses championship. Claudio wins championship over Swerve. Story is Swerve trying to get it back. Until that time Swerve gets it back, Claudio could be in matches where title contenders, he loses a couple. He loses Swerve. Now, these people have title contenders matches for the belt that they can cash in on Swerve. And because Lance Archer beat him the first time, or Claudio beat him once already, they feel like they can take they can take Swerve. Now you got these matches where it's like he's fighting for his life because you got contender after contender after contender is coming. And that just makes it to where, he may lose this one. He may lose this one. He got injured the last one. He may lose this one. But it makes it feel like it's worth it. Because watching matches where you can't lose, it gets boring. It's great matches, but we already know the outcome. So it's just, eh.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how I feel about that. I don't think.
Sorry, I was listening, but also watching.
Mhm. I don't.
So we have nothing else to talk about right now. Check in next week when we talk all about what happened with the WWE Draft. But until then, already hit what you usually do.
All right. Nobody told you that they love you. I love you. Nobody said that you were awesome today. We think that you're awesome. Note that everything is temporary and it's really a lesson for you to be better. Each memory, good and bad, good moments, memories to why you doing what it is that you're doing. Bad moments is the lessons so you can learn from them, so you can grow from them. So take all of it in. Know that these are moments, and those moments have come and gone, and you have the memories and the lessons. Kill that shit whenever you go
Bang,
on.
bang, 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 bang.
But till next time, all I really want you to do is do what it is that you love, whether it's watching the WWE draft, watching AEW, playing the games, listening to the podcast, anything that has everything to do with anything of wrestling. Till next time, peace.
Peace.
We out.
Bye.